Note the disclaimer, and remember that everyone who supported me on Patreon got to see preview images, work in progress shots, and high resolution images of the completed figure. Link is below. Alright, it's time to get back to the commission for ShadAmyfangirl129. This is her original character, Emily the Echidna. This is coming after the Finitivus figure, which is also an Echidna, and then I made 2 Shades and a Dark Enerjack. I've really been making a lot of Echidnas, haven't I? Well, anyway, Emily is another one, and she's a girl, meaning that I'm going to be using a wave figure. Now, the wave that she sent me, weirdly enough, had 2 left hands. I don't understand how that got past QC, especially considering you can tell from the paint job this is one of the proper waves and not the weird off-color wave, but apparently they just released some with weird defects like 2 left hands. Anyway, I had plenty of spare right hands, so I was able to swap that out easily enough, which I did right away. So thing 1 was adjusting the glove cuffs to look more like the character designs. It looks a little bit bulky. I would have preferred to swap them out, but the thing is that Wave's wrist pegs are so huge no other character's hands will go in there, so she can't really hand swap, not without sacrificing wrist articulation. And the feet did need a little bit of sculpting, mostly just to affect the shoelace look. And I even added a little strap to her right leg, which a little knife is in. The knife is from a G.I. Joe figure, and it is removable from this little leg sheath that I made for it. It's just that, because the Wave's hands don't curl anyway, she can't actually hold the tiny little knife. But, it's nice to know that you can take it out if you want. The paint job is mostly just a camo job. It's, forest green on leaf green, so, break up the silhouette. And those are the legs. The torso also had a little bit of sculpting on it. Those bandages she has wrapped around her chest for the upper body, and a new tail for the lower body. She also, with all this look, you have a, I'm not really sure how you call this look, like the bandaged chest look. I know a lot of warrior ladies do that to keep their boobs out of the way when they fight, but I don't really know if it's a look that you call it. I also made her little outside shirt out of some craft foam. I painted a more intense green to match the sleeves that you saw on her arms a little earlier. And that's where the big part came, her head. Yeah, normally what I would do is I would take a Knuckles head and make it look a little bit more feminine. But Emily has a completely different dread pattern than any other Echidna has. In addition to big bang dreads, kind of like what Tikal has now that I look at them, she also has a pattern of 8 dreadlocks instead of 7. So I took Wave's original head and modified it to have all these dreads. And yes, it can be pretty difficult to move the figure around now that the head has all these things in the way, but I was very careful to make sure that the arms would still be able to move forward and even outward through the 2 dreads. You'll see that in the completed figure. Articulation is still a little bit limited by the sculpt, but I tried to preserve as much as I could. And here she is, Emily the Echidna. Isn't she pretty? She kind of has this whole army brat vibe going on, doesn't she? Between the army camouflage and the wrapping and the boot knife, that's very, very army brat. You can see the delicate threading pattern that I did with the dreadlocks. First, I had to make sure that they wouldn't impinge the tail, then that they wouldn't impinge the arms, Like I said, when I had to sculpt long dreads for myself, this epoxy sculpt is nowhere near as flexible. That is, it's not flexible at all compared to the plastic that action figure heads are normally made out of. That's why I don't normally like to do this. But I feel that I was able to be creative enough with the sculpt that I didn't egregiously affect the articulation too badly. She'll still be able to reach outwards and forwards, so, you got the 2 cardinal axes right there. So thank you all for watching this video. I am working on some rather large figures this month, so my output might be reduced because when you make big things, you can't make as many things. So hopefully you'll see some good stuff. This is Wake Angel 2001, and I'm signing off for now.